Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Let's make a DIY moss pole today. So the things you're going to need is a coir mat, jute twine, plastic or metal pole, a scissors and two lids. So most of the things I'm using here is a recycled one apart from the coir mat and the jute twine. So the metal pole is from an old table. I just kept it, just thinking of I can use it for something. So the coir mat I got from B&Q, which is very thick. So I'm just trying to separate it. I just want a thin layer to cover the pole. So trying to separate one layer. So that too thick coir mat, it's very good. So you can use the leftover for something else later on. I use this coir mat to put underneath my flower pot so that won't drain the soil and nutrition from the flower pot when you water. So that will trap all the nutrients inside, and just the water, if there is any extra, that will just drain out if you keep the coir mat all the way at the bottom of the flower pot before you putting the soil. Yeah, so that is the main reason I bought it, moss pole and for the flower pots. So trying to separate this, when you separate it, if there is any piece that just came off, nothing to worry, you can put an extra piece there to cover it. So now I got enough length separated. I'm cutting up to the desired length that I need. So one end is just going into the flower pot, so that will be coming in contact with soil. You don't need to cover that end. So make sure you get enough length to cover the pole. Yeah, so that's enough for my pole. You don't need to overlap it, just enough to cover the pole. That is the extra coir mat. I'm going to use it for something else later on. This is the jute twine I'm going to use. I didn't have any other color. If you have a different color, by all means use it. It looks very beautiful, like a decorative jute twine. The jute twine I got it from It's a Gift last year, and I was saving it. That's a leftover from last year. Now at this point, the main thing you need to remember is think about your flower pot. So just leave the length of the flower pot bare and then cover above level. So my flower pot only need that much length. So I'm starting from that area, and in this end make sure you hold the coir mat very tight around the metal pole, and then use the jute twine from the bottom. Go around it a couple of times and make a couple of knots. 2 knots enough if you're using a jute twine. But if you're using any other kind of rope like a plastic or something, you need to put extra knots so that will secure it. So jute twine is okay, just 2 knots will be enough, it won't come undone. Now you hold it very tight around the metal pole and make sure the metal part is covered, and then use your jute twine to go around it very tightly, and then you work your way up. So whichever way is easy, you can use it. The only thing you need to remember is make sure the coir mat is tight around the pole and the jute twine is very tight around the coir mat. That will give a very nice look for the moss pole. It doesn't look messy, so that will give a very nice look at the end. The end product you will be very satisfied. So I'm keeping it very tight. So coir mat is tight and at the top. Now you put the lid inside and tuck all the extra coir mats inside the hole. But if you are planning to put an extension at when the plant reach at the top, if you're planning to put an extension moss pole, leave the top bit open, that's fine. But I'm not planning to put an extension on this pole, so I'm covering it by just going over the top end by securing both sides with using your thumb and index finger, so it won't just come loose. If it come loose, just do it again and then hold it with your thumb and index finger a couple of times on the top, and then you just go other way, and then you secure it around it very tightly. But if you think that's not enough, then you can go over again on the top For me, I don't like seeing any gaps, so I'm just going over again. So make sure you hold it very tight on both sides. The end loops don't have to come off. Now going around the top end a few times just to make sure those loops you done across the top, it won't come undone. So I'm doing it again because I don't want to see any gaps. Oh my god, OCD or something. Okay. Okay, now that's enough. That's almost covered the hole. So now I'm going around it to secure those the twine which will stay there very tight. It looks very neat at the end. Now you can work your way down whichever way, either you rotating the pole or you rotating the thread, twine, because it's already tight around the pole. So you don't have to make sure you're holding the coir mat tight. It's already tight. So you just need to secure it properly. So you're just going around again one more time and working your way down where you started. So whichever way is easy, whichever way is comfortable, you can carry on that way. And now at the end, so you can cut enough length to make a knot. Okay, so that is one end is for the knot end that I used at the very beginning, yeah. So this end is joining to that one and making a couple of knots. 2 knots enough if you are using a jute twine or any cotton twines, it's fine. But if you're using a plastic one, at least do 4 or 5 knots so it won't come undone and it will be secure. If there is any extra length, you can cut it off or you can tuck it into the pole on under the coir or under the twine, just like so. I'm really happy with that. That very nice moss pole. Look at that beauty. I loved it. I love doing that. Moss pole is ready. And you put the lid on the bottom and then that is ready to go onto the flower pot. And now this is the one I made a couple of months ago. So you can see the design just like a cross. So you can do that design if you want. And this one I made last year. So this one is just like an ivy going around it. So you can't see the design now. Thank you for watching.